Very good morning, friends and colleagues. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to participate in this summit. At the outset, let me convey my greetings on behalf of India, a country that's soon going to be the country with largest population in the world. We have number of food businesses double the total population of Denmark. So I think, and a large number of these food businesses are small, tiny. They are groups of women who produce processed food at home. And as you pointed out, I think the birth of institutions happen or new processes happen when there is a crisis. In the wake of crisis around pesticide residues in carbonated drinks, in early 2000, the government enacted the Food Safety and Standards Act in 2006. So what I present to you is the story of FSSAI, which is trying to do more, significantly more than what Denmark or countries in Europe or even America are expected to do as far as food safety is concerned, with significantly less manpower and resources. And born in 2006, actually, our first set of regulations were put in place in 2011, so we are merely 5-6 years old. And the work accelerated in the last 2 years. So I'll take you through our journey of new institution in India for food safety. The first, as pointed out, is for a government regulatory authority is to have a very robust framework for standards and regulations. And that is where we are today. 40,000 different provisions of food standards aligned to global standards. India's food authority plays a key role in Codex Alimentarius Commission. We are the chair of Codex Alimentarius Commission for Asia and play the lead role in spices standards. And obviously, a small contingent of people that we have, a little more than 300 in the food authority, and about 3,000 plus in the state administrations looking after food authority. This cannot be done by them. So I think a key, message in all sessions that I've attended has been around collaboration. So we work with hundreds of research and academic institutions, 1,500 scientists and experts in 17 scientific panels and make it happen. And also engage with the food businesses through standards review groups, to figure out what new standards are needed in various food categories. Not only that, we also need to simplify our standards so that the common man can understand. And therefore, food standards quick access is a tool, again, talking about technology, which has been a running theme throughout all the sessions. Food standards quick access. Food safety knowledge assimilation network, where all these 1,500 scientists come together and collaborate in creating those standards. So standard formation, I think in India, I can say is fairly robust now. I won't say that we've really reached a stage like the developed countries, which have been ahead in this game, by decades, but we have set systems and processes in place to make this happen in a more organized manner. Compliances. The header has gone, I don't know how. So the compliances and registrations, I think exponential growth in number of businesses that are registered and licensed with us. And we have been using technology right from day one when the authority was born. And today we have about 3.4 million food businesses that are registered with the food authority. I mentioned slightly less than the population of Denmark, but we have a small, equally large number of businesses, particularly the small and tiny ones, which have not come into our net. They are still, outside our ambit, and the bigger challenge is to bring them in so that we have some sense of what they're doing. And obviously, ensuring compliance, in 3.2 million food businesses is not an easy task. And we don't have inspectors. I mentioned to you about 3,500 staff altogether, state and center together, federal government together, against some 20,000 food inspectors in US, some 6,000 inspectors in the food inspection services in Canada, which is 4% of India's population. I don't know about Denmark, but so I think it is a huge task. And of course, we have to trust the food businesses when we expect them to comply with the standards. And obviously, also want to see that they actually comply with it. Again, the technology. So we are looking at smart solutions. We have digital platform for compliance verification. Food testing. You require a large food testing ecosystem for all this to happen. We have over 225 food labs. 2/3 of them are the private labs. So again, private sector participation, working with the private sector. And I think many of these private sector labs have come up in recent years. Private sector has seen huge opportunity in food testing in India, and they have come up. They have, I think, believed that there are business opportunities, and food businesses, food regulator are going to make that happen. Of course, we'll also require staff for that. So a massive effort for capacity building of food lab staff and food analysts is underway. Training of food businesses. Obviously, food safety and hygiene is a new area of concern in India, and many of our food businesses are not only do not know about it, they do not have capacities. And building capacities of food businesses is therefore a priority area for us. And in our regulatory framework, it requires that food businesses should have trained and certified people. But over a period of time, we are going to make it mandatory for them to have it, particularly the big businesses. Small ones need to be trained by themselves. And this would amount to training about 3.5 million people over the next 2 years. So a huge ecosystem for training and capacity building with 19 different courses is underway. And we have again received a tremendous response from food businesses in this effort. Big businesses are taking responsibility for training of food businesses who are in their supply chain, upstream or downstream. They are taking full responsibility for that, and this is heartening for India to see. Social and behavioral change. Sorry about a little bit of, I think it is a different software. So this, I think, one of the sub-themes of the conference here is about information. We do believe while information is important, information to citizens to ensure that they demand safe food is important, but engaging our citizens, exciting them about food safety and hygiene, and then bringing about a social and behavioral change is something that is even more important. Recognizing it, we have started campaigns like Eat Right campaign, or safe and nutritious food at home, at school, at workplace, and when you eat out. And they are comprehensive. We created marketing campaigns around many of these things, and which is getting a lot of traction. Participation of civil society organizations, food businesses, consumer organizations, and of course academic and research institutions has been extremely useful in this. Consumer focus. Consumer has rights to demand safe food, and connecting them to food businesses, and to ensure that if there is something wrong, that he gets prompt redressal of those grievances is something that we are working on. And again, here we are receiving tremendous response from the food businesses. Not only food safety, of course, this is not what we are discussing here today, but the law, our law for food safety requires that FSSAI ensures availability of safe and wholesome food. So in that effort, we have focused on food fortification, staple food fortification, and significant headway has been made in the direction of food fortification. The enablers for that have obviously been good governance, open and transparent, collaborative approach, but also using technology effectively across the board in whatever we do. International collaboration, global outreach. We work very closely with Global Food Safety Partnership Program and European Union. We have bilateral arrangements with several countries, and we are very keen to learn, and keen to learn even from Denmark and small countries. I'm sure they will have much to offer to us for a country like India, which is at a very initial stage of developing its food safety ecosystem. And within the country, we work with 18 to 20 ministries and departments and agencies. And I play an effective role in various flagship schemes of the government, so that issues on food safety and nutrition, they can all be looked at holistically in a comprehensive manner. Summing up, I think India has a long way to go to reduce, food-related illnesses to 50%. We have a long way to go. I can't stand here and make that commitment on behalf of India, but I think we have set institutional arrangements for that to happen in near future. Thank you. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.